Hello and welcome back to Football Manager, and it's come to my attention that the next two games you're going to see are the very first two games you saw when I began this save. We're playing Kings Lynn Town and Yeovil Town, but this time we're swapping over where we played them, because we played them here at the Shay against Yeovil earlier on, beating them 1-0. And we played away at the Walk Stadium to Kings Lynn, and we drew 0-0 in the very first game of my career. So now we're heading back to the Shay again today against Kings Lynn, and then away to Hewish Park to play Yeovil Town. Now we've been on a run of very good football. The last games you saw were the two draws to Aldershot and Hartlepool, but including those two, we've been on a run of 3, 4, 5, technically 10, 12 games unbeaten. If you take away Eccles Hill, which was just a friendly, because we had no game in between these two, then it's technically just 11, but it's still 11 unbeaten. That's a very impressive run. Admittedly, some of those have been very close calls, such as, for instance, George Miller winning the game for us against Wellston with a penalty in the 94th minute, or getting a own goal in the 86th minute against Notts County. You know, these goals are very important. So, let's head down to the Shay for today's game. Apparently they want us to play attacking rather than positive. Not sure why. This is the team we got going for today. Obviously I'll let you know what it is when we get to the actual team sheets page in the next screen. This is not the screen I meant. Yes, so I believe now the first video should have been up for this series, so if you plan on watching that, you can. Obviously, you don't have to. It's not like you're under lock and key being forced to watch my videos. Anyway, for today's game we have Matt Jones in goal, Tyler Magloire acting as captain today, at right back with Jack Hobbs, Niall Mayer in the centre back, and Tom Bradbury at the left back position. We have in the centre of midfield Willem Tomlinson and Jack Earing, sitting just behind Oddie Alpha, Paris McGoma and Danny Williams as our attacking midfielders, with George Miller up front on his own. On the bench we have Nathan Clark, Luke Summerfield, Jamie Allen, Ruben Reid and Zumana Bakayogo. Whilst for Kings Lynn, we have the Scottish goalkeeper Archie Mayer, with Aaron Simpson, Teddy Perkins, Harry Brockbank, Ben Tilney, Stephen Hewitt, Michael Clunan, Simon Power, Cameron King, Adam Marriott, Dale Southwell, Evan Moran on bench, with Chris Smith, Kay Callan McFadden, Michael Gash and Aaron Jones. The referee for today's game is Andrew Miller, and Ian Culverhouse has not yet been sacked, which is surprising given where they are in the league. So let's pump fists and say that we are favourites. Let's give the fans a performance to cheer for. This is actually a fan day, so there should be more supporters in the ground than there normally is, but that doesn't really matter much. You don't find out till after the game, because there's no actual section anymore where you can actually see, oh, X amount of fans are here today, which I think is a bit of an oversight from the Sports Interactive team, but doesn't really matter. It's only like a few numbers, not really going to make much of a difference to the initial viewing. But after 25 minutes we've been in control of this game by far, and we are actually giving away a free kick to Adam Marriott, who thankfully hits the post with his effort without a goalkeeper. McGoma with a free kick over the top, met by Hobbs, a player I was actually thinking of dropping for today's game because of his lowered condition, but thankfully he does start, and very nearly scored our opening goal. But after 40 minutes of gameplay, nothing has happened, unfortunately. Halifax Town and Kings Lynn Town both still at a 0-0 draw, which is a worry, of course, that we can't seem to score against a team who are in the position they are in. I'm going to point the finger and say I'm not happy with the performance. Hopefully it will motivate them to score. No guarantee of that, of course. But Kings Lynn obviously are in 19th place if results stay the same. We would be sticking to 11th place. But seeing as we've got -7 goal difference, I wouldn't expect us to go up regardless, any number of places, even if Bournemouth did lose, because it's just unlikely. Yeovil actually are beating Wrexham 2-1, which is not good. Oh, I've just noticed Tom Bradbury has gone below 6. So he's coming off immediately for Zumana Bakayoko. Up front, we're also going to bring off Miller for Ruben Reid, who's going to come on as a target man on a support mentality because reasons. We're going to have Bakayoko playing as a support fullback because reasons. Simple as that, really. And I think I'm going to bring off Odi Alpha for Jamie Allen because he hasn't really been playing all that well. And that's all 3 of the substitutes made, so I can't wait for the 80th minute injury we're about to get. But according to this, we just can't seem to get a shot that goes to the back of the net. 80 minutes of gameplay now and it's still 0-0. This is a very frustrating result if it stays the same. And by the looks of things, it is staying the same. Kings Lynn Town have held Halifax Town to 2 0-0 draws, home and away. That is a frustration, and I'm going to point my finger and say, actually no, I'm going to thrash my arms and say that I'm definitely not happy. Because I'm just not happy. That is a result that should never have come about. 0-0 for a team currently in 11th, pushing up the league, against a team in 19th on their way down the league. That's not good. Apparently no more scouts are allowed. Okay. That's unfortunate. We were planning on bringing a new scout in, but obviously we couldn't. We're also planning on bringing in a few youngsters from the Premier League who are being released by their teams. These are just 2 of them so far. And Reid has now played 11 games without scoring. That's a frustrating thing to have to say, because he is a lone player who has got very important statistics for the club. And there we go, 12 games now unbeaten for Halifax Town. Still quite goal shy, only just above a goal a game. Not good. Not good. And Robson and Alex Kirk have both agreed to sign for the club. I mean, Alex Kirk, 3.5 star, 5-star potential, and Robson, I think he's 4-star, isn't he? Oh, he's 3.5 and 5-star potential again. 2 brilliant looking players that could come through and do a lot of good work at this club. Of course, the release fee is a worry, because for both of them, £215,000 is not a lot of money, but I was forced into doing that. I couldn't make it any lower, or not lower, any higher, sorry, because it was just locked by the agent. So, unfortunate, of course. But we now, I'm actually at B Myers, which is very impressive. But we now head to Hewish Park for the game in 2 hours' time. So, until then, I bid thee adieu. Goodbye.